Okay.
Yeah, and according to me, it's everything like from transportation to people to food to restaurants
Yeah,
to the
the
way
closer
they
you
live.
are to something, I think is, or the farther you are, I think that's the kind of change you can expect from it. Because, like, I already said it, but I was in Bogota last week, and Bogota is so, like, it's so similar to Venezuela. Even Brazil, Sao Paulo is so similar to Venezuela, because they were colonized by Portuguese people, and we have a lot of Portuguese people in Venezuela. So a lot of the things that you see in Venezuela, you see in Sao Paulo for some reason. I mean, that's the roots, I think. So that's, and if you go, if in Central America, things are more similar to Mexico, so like Nicaragua, Guatemala, things are more similar. Food
And
and stuff like
which
that.
style of living do you like more? Like this in Guadalajara, which is more calm, or that one in Bogota, for example, or
Well,
which is
right now, I enjoy more the active, hectic, chaotic way of living. Like, I would love to live in New York, New York City, which is like really buildings and dirt and things to do, concerts and stuff. Then, and maybe when I have kids, maybe I would enjoy more a quiet place, maybe calm down, and safer as well, of course. Yeah, so it depends. Like, I still enjoy living here, but yeah, sometimes I get bored. Like, oh, and I see like so many. I enjoy music. I used to be a musician as well, so I like to go to concerts, like rock concerts and stuff. So sometimes I see all the concerts going on in Mexico City, and I see the concerts here is like 106, and it's like, ah, I would like to be there,
it's
right?
really interesting because for me Guadalajara is too big.
Really?
Yeah, because Guadalajara has the same size as all my country.
Yeah.
Like this is really I was shocked.
Well,
because-
and when I talk about big, I don't talk about like space.
yeah.
Yeah, because if I talk about like Caracas, is really small, and but I think it's I don't know the way of explaining it. Like, uh, like I don't like going to nightclubs to dance. I don't like dancing. I like more like sitting down, listening to music, and I used to have like so many places to go in Caracas. Like, here, I have like maybe two, three. I used to have one place to go that I really enjoy, and they close it down. So it's like, oh, now I have like 20% less options now, right? Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, if you go, just comparing just comparing the way that I said, like with concerts, you see like every artist go to Mexico City, and maybe some of them come to Guadalajara. That's what I mean. So
You already tell us something, some important aspects about the cultural difference between Mexico and Venezuela, but did you experience some cultural shock?
like I was saying it already. I don't think it's a shock, like I'm traumatized or something like that, but yeah, just getting used to things. I already lived in Canada for about a year, back when I was 17 years old, so I had already had some experience adapting to some place different. But yeah, when you like the first 6 months are like, oh, you're excited of everything, you like everything, you love everything, you don't even think about your country, right? But then you get used to things, and then you start comparing. Oh, I used to do this, and they do it this way. Oh, they are so wrong, or, yeah, right? So you start like making criticism about everything, right? So
And
and
do you
then,
have some special, one special cultural
well,
shock that you remember?
yeah, for example, in Venezuela, the buildings, if you go out of your apartment, like the elevator is like you have an elevator. Here at the beginning, like most of the buildings that I went to see apartments to live in, they didn't have elevators. So they were short, like small buildings, 4 or 5 floors, but they didn't have elevators. So that was one of the shocks. And also, like they have in every floor in Venezuela, you have a room where you have like what they call bajante. I don't know the word in English, but you throw the garbage back through a I don't know, like they have like all these
Yes.
system built. So you go out from your apartment, you take your garbage, the bag of garbage, you go to another room, you put it into this place, you close, and it goes all the way down. So when the truck comes, they just open the door, and all the building trash is there, right? So here, even or you have to put it down, or someone else have to pick it up, and that's another thing that and you have and I well, I grew up with these things, right? Like I'm used to that. Like my mom used to say, like take the trash out. So I would take the bag, just step out of my apartment, just open another door, put it down, and that's it, right? So that's another thing that still like I just got a new apartment which was built a year ago, and they don't have that. You have to put it out of your on your door, and someone else pick it up, and so that's something to me like oh, that's a shock. Like the I don't know in English, like the place where you wash. You know, you have your laundry room. You have a place to wash with hands, like the clothes,
Sink.
the sink or something like that. But it's I don't know the lavadero. I don't know what do you call it in English.
I
I'm
think
sorry,
it's
yeah.
sink.
But the thing is that you have two spaces, right? One without a drain, and the other with the drain. But the one with the hose, the one with the water coming out, doesn't have a drain. So you say like, how do you put the water? And they said, no, you have to put it there so you use it. You keep it there. But then I said like, if you keep it there, you're gonna get mosquitoes and stuff like that, right? So in Venezuela, we didn't have that. So stuff like that, right? Really small things. It's like when you get married, you are used to your girlfriend all your life. You like it and everything, but the couple of the first months are like, oh, my wife, I love her, and then after a while, oh, she leaves something out. Like you start noting small things, right? So it's the same. I think it's the same with everything, but it's the same with like I talked to another Venezuelan people here that have been here for maybe 8, 10 years, and they are used to it already. So yeah, I think it's a matter of like, you're used to living like this maybe 25, 30 years, and then you change. It's gonna create some kind of shock.
Do you remember some embarrassing situations that happened to you here in Mexico?
For
Or
example,
in
because
other
you didn't
part?
understand the nonverbal communication, like you
Well,
told us that.
yeah, example
Yeah.
like I think that was embarrassing, even though it didn't happen here in Mexico, but it happened with a Mexican. Yeah, I think that. Yeah. Besides that, I don't remember. Maybe I said a word and someone laughed, but yeah.
Do you think that the way you motivate people in one part and another part, it is different?
It could like it's the way you motivate people is the same. I think the results could be different because of the situations. Like to motivate someone in Guadalajara maybe it's easier to motivate someone in Venezuela right now because of the political situation. But at the end, your problems are your problems, right? Like your problems are as important to you are as my problems are important to me, right? So if I'm not motivated because of an issue that I have, my issue is gonna be more important to me than for you, right? So I think at the end of the day, the way that you try to motivate people is the same.
But
It is-
and
And-
what was the way?
What is the way?
Or
It depends. Yeah.
if now you know how to motivate people here in Mexico?
Yeah, like it didn't change from what I did in Venezuela. Like when I work with with my teams, I try to be as available as I can, and I try to hear them. I think having an empathic way of listening is the best way to improve your relationship, and being open, being transparent. I think that's the way, and that's what you have to use whatever is reachable for you. Because the financial side it doesn't depend on one person, right? It depends on the company and the activities that you could do with your team. It depends on the company, but the way that you treat people that depend on you. So
So you think that empathy and respect is quite
yeah,
really important?
yeah, definitely, yeah. Even to be a leader, you have to be. They have to trust you, and if you don't have those qualities, then they're not gonna trust you. And at the time that they're just trusting you, then you are not their leader anymore.
Do you think that it's hard for your employees to follow your instructions?
No, I don't think so.
They
Yeah,
understand
because
it.
when I delegate work, it's not only that I give some instructions and that's it. It's a process, right? You have to give the instructions and follow up with the person. There are some different levels of leadership that you have to implement there. You have the way first the technical side, and then be close to the person, see what's going on, and then you have to start letting them go, give ownership, and then follow up with them, and then you have to give some opportunities for them to talk and give their opinion. So yeah, it's a process. Yeah. So I think it's the same everywhere. Like I've seen management training in Venezuela, here in Mexico, and U.S., and they tell you the same thing. So the theory is the same, and sometimes even it doesn't have to be from different countries. Like you both are from Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could, my leadership style could fit more to her than to you, but at the end of the day, me as a leader, I have to find a way to get to you, right? So it doesn't matter. It's not a cultural, right? It's not a cultural skill. It's more it's a
Management.
personality, right? It's
Mhm.
personality. So and you will find different personalities in every country. The cultural side is more the respect. Like maybe Venezuelan people is gonna be more direct, more open, more like that way. They call you. They're not gonna call you sir. They're gonna call you by your name. Maybe even though you're his boss or her
Mhm.
boss. Here it's more like they call you, oh sir, usted, you know, and they are more like you too, you know, like they call you by your name. They're more friend, not really. It's not friendly. It's more like in Spanish it's confianzudo. It's more
Mhm.
like it's not disrespectful either,
Uh-huh.
but they are more like I don't know how to explain it. Like it's like people here maybe from someone from my team is gonna call me, oh Mr. Luis, and I'm gonna say don't call me Mr. Luis, call me Luis. That's it because
Mhm.
I'm a person the same as you, right? And here maybe you see more